We got an offensive lineman. The Chicago Bears drafted Braxton Jones, offensive tackle out of Southern Utah, with the 168th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears draft reaction video. I'll be reacting to every single pick the Bears made in this year's draft. So if you guys want to see all my reactions, definitely be sure to subscribe. But in this video, I'll be breaking down the 5th round pick that the Bears made after trading back multiple times. Okay, today in day 3, Ryan Poles traded back 3 total times. He also traded away our 6th rounder from next year that we got in the Khalil Mack trade. He traded that pick away for 2 7th rounders at the end of this draft. So before I even talk about the player, I have to say I love the trading down approach from Ryan Poles. A complete 180 from Ryan Pace. Okay, Ryan Pace was the trading up guy that, didn't care how many draft picks he had in each draft class. He had to get his guy. He had a few guys he loved and he wanted to get those guys at whatever cost it took. But Ryan Poles realizes that the Bears roster is in no position right now to be sacrificing picks to move up. So he actually moved back to acquire a lot of extra picks, which is, that's going to help us fill out the roster depth on this team. And, obviously draft picks are lottery picks, right? So the more lottery picks you have, the higher percentage chance you have of hitting it big. These 4th to 7th round picks, these guys are not surefire Hall of Famers. So you want to have as many picks as possible, and Ryan Poles realizes that that's the way to sustainably contend long term. The roster depth is going to be a lot better if you have a lot of draft picks every single year. But the trade down aside, guys, I think this is a very, very decent pick for the Chicago Bears. Okay, it's kind of a project. I don't know if this guy would start right away. He might have a chance to. He actually was graded pretty highly last year according to PFF. Obviously against weaker competition. He didn't go up against the best of the best competition, but we got a very athletic, very high upside offensive lineman that fits, the system really, really well. He's coming from a zone blocking type of system, and Luke Getsy, as you guys know, is going to be doing a lot of zone blocking here on the offensive line. So let me tell you guys about his measurables. First of all, he's 6'7", weighs 311 pounds. He is a massive human being. Okay, definitely has the size to play tackle in the NFL. He might play guard though. Like, you never know with these, guys that are coming from smaller schools. Sometimes, they're not equipped to, they're not like physically and, technique wise equipped to go up against some of the more advanced pass rushers in the NFL. So maybe at the beginning he starts at guard, later on at tackle, we'll see what happens. But good size, good length. Obviously, if you look at his, athleticism, he's also one of the more athletic offensive linemen in this year's class. He ran a 4.97 40-yard dash, which for a 300-pound person, that I don't even comprehend how you run that fast. Like, that's insane that he can move that fast. If you look at his tape from Southern Utah, he can move down the field really well. Okay, move to the second level, move laterally. His first step is pretty quick. He can use his athleticism to make up for, technique flaws, at least he did in college football. Probably not in the NFL level, but once he learns the proper technique, this could be a really solid football player on the offensive line. And like I've been saying, like, the athleticism is probably the main reason why the Chicago Bears drafted him, because Ryan Poles' philosophy has been to, get athletes on this team. And, Luke Getsy wants athletes on the offense, and they're just going to try to, build these guys up into really good football players through their development, system there. Now, the Bears have historically never been good at developing offensive line, wide receiver, like any position on the offense, but the new offensive line coach, Chris Morgan, he has had some success coaching up guys like this, very strong, very big, athletic linemen, and coaching them up to success. If you look at what the scouts say about him, they say that he has a nasty, aggressive side to him as well. When he's on the football field, he wants to plow through people, push to the second level and, get extra contact on these, defenders he's going up against too. So that aggressive mentality, that bullying mentality, that's what Ryan Poles has stressed he wants in his offensive linemen. So good to see him going after guys that fit that mold. And, as for the other stuff on his scouting report, most people think he's a better run blocker than a pass blocker. So if he starts for the Bears, this season, immediately he probably would be a pretty decent run blocking, but he has a lot to learn, in pass protection, especially with technique stuff going on there. So the technique has to be improved a lot, the hand placement, the, leverage that he's getting. Like, there's a lot of technique stuff that our coach is going to have to coach this guy up and, make him learn. But all the traits, guys, are there, and that's really what you can ask for in the 5th round. You're taking a flyer on a guy that's very athletic, that's very big, very strong, has a mentality that you want, and hoping that you can coach him up into greatness. Now, PFF graded him pretty highly overall, especially last year. He was 110 on their big board, so, almost like a 3rd round pick, actually a 4th round pick. They had him projected as. We took him in the 5th round, and if you look at his PFF grade, they gave him a 93.9 overall grade, which was 2nd in the entire, FBS. Now, as Southern Utah, you're not going up against the best competition, so the competition level is definitely a worry. But at the Senior Bowl, according to the people there, he held his own against basically everybody that was going up against. So, obviously at the Senior Bowl, you're going to be going up against much better competition than you were at Southern Utah. And it seemed like he was holding his own and doing pretty well. So I like this pick, guys, overall, because it fits a position of need, obviously, for the Chicago Bears. Offensive line is definitely a position of need for the Bears. We were begging Ryan Poles to sign offensive linemen. He finally drafted a bunch today, and he's obviously very athletic. He fits the system. He fits, the traits that you're looking for in offensive linemen. So makes a lot of sense, guys. Hopefully he's ready sooner rather than later, because we need guys that can play, right now for next season, because we don't have a lot of proven talent on the offensive line. But, we'll see what he turns into. I don't know if he's going to be a guard or a tackle, but it seems like he has the traits, he has the mentality, and hopefully he's going to be a good player on the Chicago Bears. Let me know what you guys think about this pick in the comments down below. And as always, bear down.